My name is Joe Owen. I live, breathe and teach leadership skills. In this programme, I'm going to meet a deputy head considering headship, but reluctant to take the final step. The question is, could she really do it? To find out, I'm going to throw her to a panel of education experts who will ultimately decide, does she have what it takes to be a head? In preparation for the big day, I'm going to shadow her to examine her leadership skills. I'll analyse her drive and motivation, and then I'm going to send her to a leader outside of education to help her find out what it takes to be at the top of your game. Will she then be ready for headship? Only the panel can decide. Emma Penzer has been a teacher for 9 years and a deputy head at Woodbury Down Primary School in East London for the past 4 years. With 2 weeks before she meets my panel of experts, I've come to identify exactly what's holding her back. Is it her skill or is it her will? Before my examination begins, I need to get to the crux of Emma's situation.
I feel that I'm working to capacity at the moment and I don't feel that I can take on anything more, which is why I've been happy to stay being a deputy head.
Shadowing Emma's busy schedule should give me the insight I need. First off, she's teaching reception class.
2, 3, 4! Oh, well done, we've got that one right. Excellent.
Emma evidently loves being in the classroom. I'm wondering whether that love of teaching is also preventing her from taking the next step. To find out more about what's holding her back, I need to speak to some of her colleagues. So do you think Emma could do the job?
I think absolutely she could. She's got all the skills. She's had so many different experiences of, in terms of like leadership and management, but it's just having the confidence to be the boss.
You ultimately are the key person, you're the head teacher. That's the good thing about it, and it's also the frightening thing about it and the thing that can keep you awake at night.
Taking the step to headship is undoubtedly daunting. To do it, you've really got to want it. The question is, why doesn't Emma want it? Her colleagues think it's confidence. She thinks it's capacity. She looks like she's ready to me. This is full of contradictions. I need to get to the bottom of her hesitation. I think it's time for a chat. Tell me about delegation. How are you on that?
I do delegate some things, but other things I also think it's faster to do it myself, and I know the result I'll get when I do it myself.
One of the reasons that delegation is so important is that drives your ability to manage your work-life balance or to not manage it. So tell me about how you see work-life balance at the moment and when you become a head.
Okay, well, at the moment I'm working to capacity. I think if I became a head teacher, my workload would increase and therefore my work-life balance, I wouldn't have a work-life balance.
We've interviewed Liz Robinson, who is a head in Southwark, who faces the same issues of work-life balance and has found ways of managing it.
So when I first started, I was working probably more like a 60-hour week initially, but I do less than that now. I probably would do about 50 hours.
Moving from 60 hours a week to 50 hours a week, would that be acceptable?
That sounds good.
Question is, how does she actually do that?
But I think you do, as a head, have a choice about how long you work. Crucially, it's about how you empower the people around you so that you're not, as the head, having to drive everything forwards. There are other people who are kind of spinning the plates for you as well.
I think she has a point, certainly, about empowering people around you, getting them to spin the plates either with you or for you.
Okay, easier said than done, isn't it?
It is.
All right, we may have to have a look at how you can do that even better. Emma clearly needs to learn how to delegate better in order to get her work-life balance in order. It's time for her to meet another leader to show her what it takes to be at the top of the game. This could just be the catalyst that helps her unleash her potential to become a successful head. With just 1 week to go before she faces the panel, I'm sending Emma to spend a day with Angela Brady, founding director of a firm of architects. Like any successful leader, Angela has to delegate to succeed. Delegation is Emma's challenge. I want her to watch and to learn.
I want to ask Angela how she manages balancing being such a successful leader with her personal life. So I'm looking forward to today.
Hi, you must be Emma. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at these two projects here.
Angela has been running her business for 20 years while balancing the demands of children and home life. Will Emma recognise that keeping this balance is the key to leadership success?
How many hours do you think you work each week?
I'm not a person for the long hours culture, as there's, you know, in architecture, some people will do 60 and 70-hour weeks, and I think that it's just crazy. And I'm sure it's the same in your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think that if you do a 40-hour week and you fit all of your tasks into that 40 hours, you do as good a job, if not better, because you're fresher, you're more organised, and it gives you time to have a life outside the office.
Angela takes Emma on a site visit to where a block of residential flats are being built. This is the perfect opportunity for Emma to watch Angela's delegation skills at work.
There's wash-hand basins to go here, there's a WC to go against that far wall.
Sarah is the project architect, so she's here every week, if not nearly every day. And Sarah's in charge of the day-to-day running of the job. So it's my duty to check that Sarah is happy with everything that's going on from her point of view, and that it's still running on cost and on time.
Back at the office, it's time for the weekly critique and progress meeting with the whole team.
We don't want to be restricted by what's happening underneath to make the top of the building more interesting. So
The day is drawing to an end, and Emma has one last opportunity to get some words of wisdom from Angela on being a leader and having a life as well.
To get us through the planning stage, and that's key.
What's holding me back in terms of moving on to be ahead is the issue about work-life balance.
That's very interesting, because the work-life balance, I would have thought that if you become a head, surely you would have less hours because you can delegate more. If you have a good team, you've got trust in your staff, then the role should be so much easier for you. You've actually got to give time for yourself, because if you're a happier person, you'll be happier at work and your staff will be happier and you'll be doing a better job. It is possible to be top of your job and have kids and have a very good work life and a brilliant social life. So go for the lot, I would say.
What fantastic advice.
And what more do you need? The power of delegation and good work-life balance. And they're clearly the two things that she's very worried about. And I think that they're things that she can resolve.
I think it's interesting what she said about work-life balance and about delegation, and she's certainly given me a lot of food for thought. Today's been really useful. Meeting an inspirational leader outside of the education context has been very eye-opening. I've learnt a lot.
I've spent time with Emma at work, I've sent her to a leader in an architect's firm, and now I've put together a panel of experts to assess how far she's moved on her journey to headship. Emma has most of the skills to make it to the top job in education, but can she show she has them all, and that she really wants to do it? My carefully selected panel of education experts chosen from governing bodies, industry recruitment, and outstanding schools are going to find out. This is Emma's moment of truth. My selection panel is next door, and I'm going to watch her from in here. What I want to see is, can she show she's really got the motivation to become a head teacher? Let's see how she does.
We've got a few questions to ask you. How would you describe your vision for whole school improvement?
The vision that I have for the school is about continual improvement. So making sure that what we do today is even better tomorrow. So I'm going to talk about raising standards, I'm going to talk about learning and teaching, and I'm going to talk about management and leadership.
This is all theory, no experience.
Can you describe an occasion when you have delegated effectively, and what did you learn from that experience?
Well, this week, in fact, I've delegated support staff's performance management, their end-of-year review. I had 22 to do. I'm doing 7 now, and the rest have been delegated to the 4 assistant head teachers.
Nice answer.
Why do you want to be a head teacher? Do you want to be a head teacher?
At the moment, being a deputy head, I do impact on a lot of children's lives, but I could have a bigger impact, a stronger impact, being a head teacher of my own school.
Excellent.
How would you cope with taking on leadership?
I would make sure that I organise my time effectively and that I delegate tasks so that will free up time for me so that I can be doing the things I need to be doing as a head teacher.
Well, thank you very much. That's the end of all our questions. Thank you.
This is the moment of truth. Let's see what the panel has to say.
Edith, what did you think? Could you believe her to be a head teacher?
Yeah, because I thought she was really friendly and she'd be a good role model for kids because she obviously puts children in front of everyone else.
And Martin, what did you think?
I was impressed by her obvious drive, determination. Her answers were very polished, almost at times too polished.
Margaret, were you convinced?
I was very convinced.
Yeah.
I thought she had the presence and she understood all the aspects of the job.
So in summary, we think that Emma is a definite candidate for leadership.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It needs to be applying now, yes.
Yes, I think so. And I felt that it was a lucky school that gets this teacher.
Yes.
Right.
I've heard the verdict of the panel. Now it's time to give Emma my verdict. So, what went well?
Describing my vision and also talking about delegation, because I've learnt a lot about delegation over the last couple of weeks.
You started with some classic textbook answers,
Right.
which were very good, very polished, but I was left wondering, where's the real Emma Penzer behind all of this? And the challenge there is to bring more of your own personal experience and personal perspective into it. They really liked the fact that you clearly understood the role in all its facets. The verdict from them and the verdict from me is, when can you start? Because they think you're ready. Do you think you're ready?
I do think I'm ready, but right now the time's not right for me.
When will you know you're ready?
When I find the right school to be head of. What I'm going to take away today is the positive experience of the interview, and I'm going to look around and hopefully find the right school, and one day when the time's right I'll apply to be a head and be a successful head teacher.